Want to see powers? Here we go.
Time for heroes is over.
You don't get to decide who lives or dies!
Hey! Where did this thing come from?
Hello, welcome to Access. I'm Rob. Joining us is Dave.
Hello.
Dave, we are talking Marvel's Avengers. In particular, 7 ways Marvel's Avengers is going to smash it.
Nice.
Do you
what you've done
what
there.
I've done?
Yeah.
Do you like what I've done with the title of the video?
Yeah. That's why you're the best.
That's right. That's why I am paid the medium bucks. So Marvel's Avengers, the first thing we want to talk about is the campaign, because we've seen some details about the campaign now. We knew that Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel, is going to be in the game. And she is quite important to the story of Marvel's Avengers. And the campaign is all about rebuilding the Avengers. In fact, I spoke to some of the developers from Crystal Dynamics, and the word they used was reassemble. So it's like
nice.
Avengers reassembling. Obviously, from what we've seen so far of the game, a bad thing happens. There's an event called A-Day, and after that, sort of the Avengers are disbanded, and things go bad for them. And it's a world that is very much against superheroes, and the Avengers are blamed for all of the fallout after A-Day. And but Kamala Khan has learned an important thing, and we're not going to get into the story too much here, but that kind of sparks this whole sort of rebuild of the Avengers, which is an incredibly exciting thing. And obviously more exciting is you get to play not only as Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, but obviously you're going to be playing as multiple Avengers throughout the story campaign. And that leads on to the second point, which is the villain. The main villain of Marvel's Avengers has been revealed now to be MODOK.
I will rid the Earth of superpowers, even if it has to end with me.
Do you know what MODOK stands for, Dave?
No, I actually don't.
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
It stands for Mental Organism Designed Only for Killing. which is like the most amazing villainous name ever. And
Designed only for killing. Was that such an excellent
killing.
Little suffix?
Nothing else.
Like,
he can't
that's it?
he can't do his laundry very well. I can't do it. All I can do is kill.
That's all I know
can
how to do.
only kill, just
That's what
kill.
it's designed for.
Anyway, Marvel fans probably will know that MODOK first appeared in a Marvel comic called Tales of Suspense back in 1967. The devs at Crystal Dynamics described MODOK and AIM together as like one of, if not the biggest threat that the Avengers have ever faced. And it's worth pointing out that this is a completely original story as well.
Right, yes.
So Crystal Dynamics have been given free rein by Marvel to sort of take these characters in like a brand new direction, which is like amazingly exciting.
Definitely.
I
It's
think.
one of the amazing things about the Marvel universe is there's such a rich universe to draw from, isn't it? I mean, going all the way back to the 60s, there's so much material for developers and creators to look at, to draw from and extrapolate on. I think it's just one of the really exciting things about the Marvel universe.
Playing as those characters leads into point number 3, which is the level of customization. And again, we saw a little bit of this in the footage that we saw recently.
Yeah.
You have like a huge degree of control over customization in terms of your character's gear, their outfits. There are, as in typical superhero fashion, there are a lot of outfits that fans of Marvel and of the Avengers are going to absolutely love. Like, it's a huge like thrill, isn't it? Like, oh, it's the costume from such and such. And
yes.
we saw like a brief glimpse of like the menu screen where the Avengers are equipping all their different armor and different weapons and different gear. And so we're going to have a game where sort of like my Iron Man could look like way different to your Iron Man.
Yeah. And again, like it's that thing. There's a bit of bragging rights, really, isn't there? And recognizing the nuances, knowing where your outfit's from in the universe, that kind of thing. which I think will just make the playing and customizing your character a whole lot more meaningful, really.
Another exciting thing is that you can level up your characters in your own personal way. So you can sort of tailor the play style of the Avengers. And I know each of the different members of the Avengers have their own sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Scott Amos, who's the head of the studio at Crystal Dynamics, who was telling me that he likes to play as a ranged Hulk.
Hulk?
Which I found a bit, strange. A ranged Hulk. When I think of Hulk, you think of Hulk just smashing things.
Yeah.
But you can, if you want, tailor your Hulk to, I guess, from range, just pick things up and throw things.
I guess he does a lot of throwing, yeah.
Yeah, which is that's just really cool to me that you can sort of tweak each of the Avengers, and I mean, I guess it would be cool if you're in there playing as Ms. Marvel and smashing people with your big elastic fists, and then you've got support from Hulk just chucking things at the enemy. It's just going to be.
I can't think of a time when I don't want support from Hulk, to be honest.
The next thing we need to talk about is Warzone, and these are co-op missions that sort of unlock as you play through the campaign. And as you play through the campaign, you'll sort of rebuild the Avengers. You'll rebuild the helicarrier, which is like their main base where they can select all of the different missions on. Because that's the big draw about Avengers, right? You're not just playing as one superhero. You're playing as a team of superheroes.
Definitely.
And I don't think there's any other game that has that magic where we can play together and we can both be a different superhero, and having that team thing where we each have our own unique characteristics.
I think it's like I was trying to put my finger on it. The really exciting thing is that I just don't think there's a more kind of iconic team that you could play.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like where you instantly know. I was thinking in other games where there's co-op and you play different kind of classes or characters. You have to get to learn about these characters. But I already know the Avengers so well. If I'm playing as Hulk, I know what that character's like. If I'm playing as Thor, I know what that character's like, and you do too. There's no thinking about it, and it is just like. It's just living the dream, isn't it? It's assembling the Avengers. That's what we're talking about.
It's ultimate wish fulfillment, isn't it? And the other cool thing about Warzone is you can play it solo, in which case you'll have AI companions.
Okay.
But the other cool thing about those AI companions is they will fight in the style that you have given them as you play through the game. So for instance, if you're playing as a Hulk and you've made your Hulk a ranged Hulk, and you go into a Warzone mission and you're playing as Thor, for example, and you've got Hulk in your team, Hulk will fight the way that you have been playing as Hulk up to that point of the game.
Got you.
Which is cool as well.
That is cool.
You can go straight, if you want to just boot up the game and go straight into Warzone straight away, you can do that. But it is obviously worth, playing through the campaign as well, experiencing the story, and unlocking a bunch of stuff and leveling up your characters so that when you get to play as them in Warzone, they are proper beefed up Avengers. Yeah. The next thing I want to talk about, entry number 5, they have made the choice not to make this like one big seamless open world.
Okay.
You get to choose different sort of areas to go into from the helicarrier, different hero missions, which are like the campaign missions, and then Warzone, which is the co-op stuff. Because one of the things I was asking about was, are we still going to be able to get to traverse as superheroes? Because that's the other cool thing, right? Fighting as a superhero is cool, but moving through a world with superpowers is also one of those things that, being a superhero in video games, that's why it's cool. You want to fight like a superhero and move like a superhero. So it's not going to be open world, but the areas you're going to be in are going to be big, and there is going to be scope for exploration within that, which is really cool. The last 2 points are both on combat. Now, one of the very exciting things about the combat in Marvel's Avengers is the lead combat designer is Vince Napoli, who you may remember worked on God of War. So this is
indeed
a man with a lot of experience and pedigree when it comes to combat systems.
I'm pretty sure the combat in God of War was really
it's all right,
good.
Isn't it?
I think it was really good. So that makes
bad.
me happy.
There are like multiple different superheroes who have to feel unique.
Yeah.
They said to themselves, we have to approach this as if we're making a separate game for each of these individual Avengers.
Wow.
When you combine that with the depth of customization options you have as well, it's going to be like playing, when you switch characters, it's like all of a sudden you're playing this whole new game. It gives you a whole new sort of combat feeling.
And that's definitely what you want, and that's going to allow
Yeah.
people to specialize a little bit as well. I think you want to feel different when you're playing as different superheroes.
Definitely.
You don't just want them to be a different skin on on the same kind of base thing. So I think that's really exciting.
The final point, which is obviously is about combat as well, it's about how the combat system has been designed so that different members of the Avengers can sort of team up together. So you've got like team finishers in the game. They're the kind of cinematic moves you're going to be able to do to finish off enemies, not just playing as your own Avenger, but like teaming up with another Avenger and doing like specific combination attacks with them. There are heroic finishers as well.
Oh, wow.
It's just it's a game that sounds like every superhero fan's dream, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I can already imagine the satisfaction of pulling something like that off. I mean, these movies, this universe, because of the movies, the recent movies, just feel so cinematic. And I mean, it sounds like the game has taken all of that on board, as well as all of the massive history of Marvel, and kind of brought the best of both worlds together. I think I can't wait to see more, man. I can't believe it's this year.
4th of September. It arrives on the 4th of September. We are very close now. We can all team up and do like a live stream.
I know.
Of all of us being superheroes. It's
I
want to
I want to be ranged Hulk now. Now that I've heard about that, that sounds perfect.
But there we are. There are 7 reasons Marvel's Avengers is going to smash it.
Nice.
Absolutely smash it. It really does, doesn't it? Let us know in the comments what you think of the game. Which Avenger are you going to play as? Let us know who you think you're going to be specialising as. And give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you're always up to date with everything from the world of PlayStation.
PlayStation